requires community management entities in New Jersey to have a state license before they could take any new management companies on. First, I'm surprised it's not managers, but Dave, what is this bill about?
Well, it is, Matt. It would be anybody who wants to be a property manager, whether a company who provides managers as employees or employees themselves. They'd have to have a license, like a barber and lawyers, whoever else in this state has to have a license.
Don, this is one of the biggest topics around the country. It's state to state. What is your feedback on this? I'm sure this is something you hear about all the time.
Yeah, licensing is important because what's going to happen, again, the condo association is going to go out and they're going to say, what's the lowest bid I can get for maintaining my property? And all you have to do is be the lowest bidder. It doesn't mean you're qualified or capable of doing that. So I think there needs to be some type of certification. So you're getting the lowest qualified bidder as opposed to the lowest bidder. The only way we can do that is through some licensing practice, and you've got to be able to take out people that are bad managers of property.
Dave, true or false, you could have a high-rise condominium in New Jersey, have a $10 million budget, and you could hire a guy off the street to run it with absolutely no background check, no past history. They could literally just walk off the street and just start running the association on behalf of the board. Is that true or false?
But your hypothetical is true, I think.
And licensing would maybe not make that so easy, correct?
Well, I guess that's the thing. I mean, I don't know enough about licensing in terms of like what it actually means. I mean, I know like we get a driver's license and then you have it for the rest of your life. You don't take ongoing classes. You get a professional license. You have to take ongoing classes every year, every other year. Get some kind of a. You don't take like a test, I don't think, at least from a lawyer license. So a lot of this comes down like what type of license we're talking about. Are you going to make a property manager go to Trenton every other year and take a test and lay her off, fire her if she doesn't get a 75 on the exam? Or are we just talking about someone having to take online courses 3 times a year and they barely even watch? They got the the ball game on they're watching, and the course is going on in the background. They're not even paying attention to it, and their secretaries writing down the numbers you get to make sure to prove you attended. So a lot of it, but I'd have to, if I were in the legislature, I'd have to learn more about what licensing for this type of thing would mean. To me, as a citizen, it seems like it's just an extra sort of layer of big government. But I'd have to learn more about it because I may not be educated as much as to what licensing does, how it protects us, how burdensome it is or isn't. It might not be burdensome at all to get a license. I don't know.
When legislators pass something like this, are all the details already done? Or are they just passing this broad concept? Oh, we're going to have licensing, or is all those really critical details already in place?
So both of that happens. Sometimes you get a bill, it's really not spelled out, or it sounds really good, but there's no financing or assignment on who's going to manage it or take over it. I get your point, Dave, of another level of bureaucracy. I think the licensing, driver's license, is a bad example. If elected officials had any stamina, they would require you, once you hit about 70 years of age, for you to take a driver's license over again and things. But we're not going to do that because we're not going to lose that amount of votes. Because those are the people that still come to the election on election day. So there's certain common sense. I think you hit the 2 points. You can't allow people just to go online and like you said, hit yes, yes, yes at the end of it and things. But there needs to be some type of restrictions. And I think there needs to be some way to remove licenses if you have people that aren't doing the job of running an association properly. And shame on any association that if you're bidding out the work, you're not interviewing them, you're not checking on other people that they've managed or organizations that they've managed and made the phone calls. It's just common sense. A caveat emptor in this case.
I was gonna say right now out there in New Jersey, if a manager, God forbid, steals money, okay, then your recourse as an association that's the victim, you can ask the prosecutor to do something. he or she may or may not do something. But even if the prosecutor does something, there's no guarantee you get your quote unquote money back. You could sue a manager or a management company civilly, but the legal fees might exceed the amount of money that was stolen. So in a lot of ways, if licensing would allow some way to deal with this potential problem, it might be useful, because I don't know that associations have many useful options. If a manager steals $35,000, my experience tells me that the government, the prosecutor, quote unquote, is not going to do anything at all for that. And even if the prosecutor does something, it doesn't mean you get your money back. So what's the point to
But
a
Don,
regular person?
where are we with this? Do we
Yeah,
have the
so-
details on this or we don't?
We don't have the details on this, but we have licensing even for landscapers and things, certainly for hairstylists. So there's got to be some type of standard here and stuff. We just don't have the information on this bill. It shouldn't move forward until we do.
All right, and I'll keep tabs on it, and maybe we'll re-explore it and see where it's at, because it looks like we have to find more. I don't have an opinion on it, because it doesn't sound like I can, because we don't have the information that's needed. So
Fair statement.
thank you.